Night 30 of 31, nearly there for the great Tommy sleep out, just tonight and tomorrow night to go. The box house is gone, it's kaput. So I'm currently just heading for some woodland and I'm going to spend the night wild camping. Big thank you to Steve, you're a legend, thank you very much. But it is going to be pretty grim tonight, I think, in these woods because everything is so wet. But there we go.
It never seems to end when your adventure lies just around the bend. So if you want to join.
Right, let's have a quick look at what we've got for tonight. So I've got my knives, which will be handy for making kindling. Don't buy that brand, Elk Ridge, useless. Hardly use that one. But I got this one, so I've got those. Let's have a look what else we've got. Let's turn it around. We've got that, we've got a can of new potatoes. I'll show you what that's for a bit later on. We got a can opener, lid for the saucepan, she's in there somewhere. Yeah, there we go, lid for the saucepan. Couple of bits of dry wood, which it's not, it just makes it easier, doesn't it, if you've got some dry wood with you to get going. And what else we got? Something else in here. Alarm clock, because I've got to do a dig tomorrow morning, so I've got to wake up. So that's my alarm clock. Good stuff. And then we've got the tarp. So this is the one that I've managed to pull off of the box house, and then this roll mat. So no tent, we don't have the luxury of a tent. Oh, and I've got this some water and the torch again out of the box house, and my great Tommy sleep out hat. Then in addition to that, I've got this hammock which I'm going to use, so I'm going to be using that tonight. And there is rain forecast for tonight, quite a lot of it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to sling that tarp over this. So obviously that's over the hammock, so I can sling the tarp over that, and hopefully that will give me a pretty good degree of protection against the rain. And what I'm going to do is just secure the tarp down just with a bit of paracord and some tent pegs. Just stop it blowing away at night. So it just leaves me this end now, and then yeah, it's going to be all right under there. That'll keep me dry for sure. 100%. And obviously, if you didn't have tent pegs, then you just use heavy logs and just attach the paracord to heavy logs. Okay, so that's the inside, so perfectly sufficient for a night. Yeah, and I really am no fan of hammocks. In fact, I hate hammocks. I just don't like the feeling where you sleep in, have a hammock, but definitely preferable to being on the soaking wet ground. So hammock it is. And there we go. So it'll be all right. I've got a roof over my head, and at least it doesn't smell of damp cardboard in here. Look how snug that looks. And I'll show you what the tin of new potatoes is for. So do all of this before you've opened the actual tin, or it loses its rigidity. Then we need to make a larger opening here near the bottom, and again and here, Just heard an owl. Bit's a bit more awkward. That's it then. My knife is fairly sharp, so I should be able to just slice away at the rest of it. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. Open that up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the lid. I do have a can opener. If I didn't, obviously you can go around the top with a knife, but there's no point in me doing that because I've got a can opener. So, okay, waste not, want not with the food. So into the pan with the potatoes, and I'm left with this tin. And this is going to be my stove. And what you do need is a couple of thin bits of wood to put onto the top of the tin. So we're going to cut through this. So we've got two slips. We need two bits like that, basically, to go on the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip these in the stream. I'm going to go and dip these two in the stream so they're wet. And then I've got fire lighters. That's going to make it easier. You could still do it without. But yeah, it's going to be a lot easier with fire lighters. So let's get this lit. And I've also got a lighter, which is cheating a little bit, but it'll be very, very difficult to get a fire started without a lighter at the moment because it is so wet. You'd literally be going at it for an hour with a flint. Let's just let that catch a little bit. While that's going, I'm going to make some more small bits of wood that I can feed into that little hole. You just want little slithers of wood like that. That's perfect. And this is why you need a knife, a really strong knife. It's not going to break when you're doing this. But I'll tell you, this one's being held together with gaffer tape. So that's perfect. So lots of little bits of wood that I can feed in through the hole at the bottom of the hobo stove. These two bits are my wet bits of wood, and the reason they're wet is because they're going on top, and I don't want them to, no, that's not his, it's that one. I don't want them to catch fire too quick because I need them to stay there while I'm cooking, like that. There you go, hobo stove. So that was 49p for the potatoes and the cooker. And that will have that cooked up in no time. And whilst it's far from a feast, my pot of potatoes will stop me going hungry. So that's a bonus. Nice and warm. Those hobo stoves work really, really well. I'll never understand why people use these. I mean, I get it. If you're camping and everything's soaked outside and you've got no dry wood, of course you need gas, but a lot of the time you don't need to take a gas canister with you. If you've got dry wood and a tin can, obviously you can use the can again and again and again. So I do think a lot of the time people are using these jet boils and stuff like that when they really don't. They don't need to. It works just as well. You're not having to pay for gas. You're not having to carry gas. So, anyway, that's hot. Should have brought some herbs or something along with me, really, because it's pretty plain. This is just a bowl of new potatoes, but it will stop me feeling uncomfortably hungry. So. That's the main thing, I guess. It's lovely out here now. There's lots of movement around here. I've been to these woods before and there's lots of movement around here at night. Where I'm right near as well, there's loads of deer tracks. Absolutely loads of them. And I'm quite discreet where I am. So I'm hoping in the morning they don't know I'm there, and then I could get a real nice up close view of the deer. There's a white deer here as well. Me and I can't remember if it was Nelly or Bonnie. Not sure which one it was. But anyway, when we were staying in this woods, we were lucky enough to see a white deer, me and one of the girls. Rain forecast for tonight, but I will stay pretty dry. And that, you'll be surprised. And my hobo stove now has just become like a little rocket fire, just to keep me warm. Something quite amazing about fire, isn't there, really? Because that fire over there, he's keeping me warm, he's giving me light, but I've got to feed him. So there's almost a bit of a relationship there, isn't there, going on between me and that fire. And it would be an awful lot more miserable out here tonight if he wasn't there with me. And that's why I love fire. Absolutely love it. It's like one of our greatest achievements, isn't it, really, as a species, is the ability to make fire. But it's also incredibly simple, or it is for us nowadays anyway. But yeah, can't beat a nice campfire. There's no rain. It doesn't feel like it's going to rain, although you never know, it is getting cold. So even though I've made that camp, I'm just going to sleep outside, because I don't like hammocks. So I'm going to sleep on the floor. Got a roll mat, and I've got a snug packed sleeping bag, which is a good bit of kit, even though it is 30 odd years old. Not overly comfy, but there's a lot to be said for the fresh air and the outdoors. It's not quite right though, I can see that from it. You want to be got to be lined up with the gradient of the ground, or you slip off. Nobody likes a wonky bed. There we go. So if it rains, I'll bolt in on the hammock. If it doesn't, I'll just stay here for the night. I've only got tonight and tomorrow night to go. Tomorrow night I'm probably going to be sleeping in the car with Nelly, one of my daughters, which might seem like a bit of an anticlimax, but I want to get her out for an adventure. So I think we're gonna head out somewhere and keep in the car at the top of the downs or something like that. Or maybe we might even stay here. I don't know. They're not scared, my girls. They're pretty brave. I'll have to check the weather forecast, but they're certainly not scared of the woods. So yeah, it's been a month almost, and I only set out to raise 500 quid. Then it was 1,000. Then it's 1,500. I think we're on about £1,600, something like that now. So it's amazing, brilliant. Thank you. And you know, I really do appreciate it, guys. I know money, especially nowadays, it's tough, isn't it, for everyone. Money's not easy to come by, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And much as I'm looking forward to getting back into a bed, and I am, I really am. You know, I miss being in the house. I miss Laura. But I have enjoyed it. I really have. And I just wish I'd got an opportunity to do more like tonight. But it's just difficult because I can't get up and go to work. The thing is, I leave for work at like 3:45 in the morning, and that's impossible to do from the woods, turn up looking respectable. But glad I got the opportunity for tonight. So anyway, guys, I'm waffling. Thanks very much. Still got tomorrow night to go. The Great Tommy Sleepout 2024.